did it. Over the counter archery elk number 2 with a bow. I guess that was obvious when I said archery. 60-yard shot. Wasn't perfect, missed right like I've been missing all the last couple days. But it died fast. It ran up this hill slightly. It probably only went 40 yards from where I shot it. Just like the first one I hit with an arrow. Same situation, hit it high and back with a rage broadhead. And it died in seconds. Fucking awesome. Whew. I'm deep in here. It's gonna be like a 1.5, 2 mile pack out uphill. It's like 1,200 feet up, but I gotta cross a couple valleys. Or I can go about 3 miles after I pull my truck downhill. I can go 3 miles down this creek. And there's no up and down, but it's 2,400 vert. So I'm gonna pack out the heart, back straps, innards, and whatnot tonight uphill. See how bad it was. Make my decision after. I can't believe it though. Holy crap, dude. Yes, heard that pop, knew I hit it, saw it bleeding immediately. Oh, I was up there on this hillside for a couple hours in this spot set up for them to come out where I've seen them come out a bazillion times. Figured I'd give an ambush a try after calling all morning or earlier today. Nothing came about sunset. I was like, all right, it's sunset and this is close to where they're bedded. They should have moved by now. I'm gonna get up and see if I can find something. As soon as I got my pack out, I look right over here and there's this one somewhere around up on here, and it was crossing down towards me. So I figured I'd book it down here with half an hour left of daylight. Figured I had a shot at getting close. And I was sitting over there, and I didn't really like the wind, figuring they were going over that way. I wanted to go up higher, so I kind of made a sudden movement, and then I heard one bust. I was like, oh shit. But it probably just heard me and bust, so I made some cow calls. And it stopped below me, saw me move, ran across the gully, and then stopped broadside looking at me at 60 yards. Started to walk a little bit. So I cow called again and it stopped. And then I shot. Maybe it started taking another step and that's why I missed back, but it could probably just be. But now I got a lot of work to do. Sweetness, here we go. It's now September 2025. After killing an elk on the 4th day of the season the year before, and then driving to Wyoming and calling an elk for 2 of my good friends, I'm feeling as confident as ever, and for the first time, ready to commit to getting a bull or nothing. I'm out here at my all-time favorite elk glassing spot. After a week of hunting elsewhere, focusing on mule deer, chasing a lot of bucks, even saw a bull over there I called with a little bit. Ended up having a really cool experience with a mountain lion and shooting a doe, and so now I've tagged out on deer. I'm here trying to make the dead bull dream come true. I'm here starting to chase elk. Got the rest of the season, about 3 weeks to hopefully get it done. My buddy Steve will be coming out and we'll have 10 days to try to fill his tag as well. I've glassed up a few elk this evening, including at least 1 bull. So hopefully we'll have something to go after tomorrow. This is very exciting. For now I'm here cooking bacon and some mule deer heart, fresh, never frozen. This should be yummy. Alright, I've been posted up watching this hillside. Spotted a good number of elk, I think about 13 or so on this side. I saw a group of 5 over in the other unit across the canyon. A couple of bulls sparring over there, that was cool, but I can't go hunt over there. The last group I spotted over here, looks like there's 5 of them. The one in the back is a 5x5 bull. So I'm gonna keep watching them as long as I can and then make a plan to go shoot that bull. Let's go. All right, I spent the morning glassing up some elk. I watched a group of 7 work down this hill towards this drainage. 2 of them split off, a mom and a calf. The bull and the other 4 kept going up towards the ridge a little closer to me. I watched them meander around a little bit and then bed down. So I got them located. I know exactly where they are. So I'm going to drive to the access point above them. I got to hike down a ridge, cross a deep little mini canyon. That'll put me right on top of them with some good wind. It is a cloudy day, so we might get some swirly winds. That might be a factor today, we'll see. But this is a high probability situation as far as elk hunting goes. I'm very excited. Let's go. It's go time. So a little before 1 o'clock, I made it up on top of the ridge where I had seen the elk. I set up about 100 yards from where I had last seen them and started cow calling like a single cow seeking attention. I heard the bull bugle a couple of different times as I kept calling at him, and then a third time that sounded possibly farther away, or maybe he just turned his head. After about 20 minutes, I moved closer as some clouds came in, and then I heard him bugle very close. So I set up in front of a big bush and then kept my cow calling sequence going. I saw 3 different elk come in. To my right at 38 yards was a cow, and then about 60 yards down the hill was a small cow. And eventually I could see half an elk behind that small cow. Couldn't tell if it was a cow or if it was the bull. And they're all looking at me for a while. And then eventually one bounced off, and the smaller one and the half elk that I could see just kind of walked off. After that I bugled, and then I never heard the bull again. I ended up moving down that ridge a little further to the east, and I could hear some elk mewing down below me. So I moved a little closer, tried calling, and then poked my head over the bushes and could see a cow and a calf running off down across the drainage below.
Got a bull bugling a bunch of times down in there. There was another group of 8 or 9 with 2 bulls in it that headed over the far ridge. Might give them a shot after the thermal switch if I can't see where this one beds down. Also seen 3 bears down there. Not all together either. Kind of crazy. I've never seen that many bears in one spot. I can hear bugles that are either down low or up over this ridge. But this one keeps bugling. There goes one down there again. There's his butt right there.
The biggest of the bulls was going completely nuts. One of the greatest rut fests I've seen in this area. I ended up getting up on the ridge with them and just constantly moving towards the bugles, and they just kept going down and down and down until I was really just staring into a canyon. Eventually I just figured I couldn't go where they went and turned back around, and ended up finding evidence that there was another person up there on that ridge with me that day, probably chasing them away. So the next morning, I decided to glass instead of hiking in the dark. I saw multiple groups of elk in multiple areas. All were possible options to get on that day. I ended up watching one group work pretty down low, pretty far hike in from the top, but it had the biggest bull and was the area I was the most confident in being able to get on him. So I ended up driving down below and trying to hike in up a canyon, and not really sure I could make it up one of these steep chutes to get above the elk. It ended up working out. It was definitely more sketchy than I would have liked. Would definitely not do that again. I spotted 2 different herds of elk with nice bulls this morning. Both of them, they're just a matter of mileage up this dry creek bed here. So I'm going to sneak on up to the closer of the 2, see if I could cut up and get above them when the wind's still good, and call in the bull I saw chasing cows all morning. Here we go. Once I got above him, I let out a bugle and then heard him bugle and another one up above me bugle. And those 2 just started bugling back and forth at each other, which was perfect. So I decided to move as close as I could to the one I was after, trying to only move when the wind gusted. I spotted 2 different. I certainly wasn't quiet enough to be completely stealthy, but the whole situation was based on him thinking I was a bull coming to him. So I wasn't worried about making a lot of noise. I just didn't want to sound like a human. My entire stalk in worked perfectly. I got to where I was 50 yards from a little opening that I was sure he would come out in if I were to call again. And so I set up with a little bit of brush behind me. In hindsight, my head and shoulders were sticking up above it, and I think that's what ruined it. I called once. He came exactly to where I thought he would, and then stopped 1 step short. There was a dead tree blocking his vitals. Eventually he started moving forward, and I just tried to turn slightly to get ready for a new shot lane. He spotted that movement and immediately ran 500 yards off before turning and looking back at me. And then he just left the entire area. Rinse and repeat. The next morning I glass up more elk in a similar area. This time I come in from above. I get above the elk and I'm about 100 yards from where I think they are. I start calling. I hear the bull bugle. I start trying to be aggressive with getting closer. It wasn't a great amount of cover. I ended up getting busted and watching the whole herd run across a big gulch and up onto the next ridge. I did end up following him onto that ridge, but it ended up just being wasted energy. The day after that, similar thing happens. I find elk, I get on them, I get close to where I think they are, I start calling. Eventually, I look to my right and see another hunter looking through his binos right at me. So I turn around, walk away. Once I'm about 200 yards away, I look back, and down below that hunter, I can see the bull I was after, looking to see who was making the calls. Guess I shouldn't have given up so easy.
There he is. This dude.
What's up, dude? Last time I met up with you, I had a GoPro in my hand, and then everybody killed elk. So I'm gonna do it again.
How are you? How are you?
Well, good to see you. I don't even know if you can see the hail on the camera.
You see it when it
Oh,
hits
wait,
my
yeah,
face.
you can see it when it bounces off stuff. Well, we glassed up more elk this morning, which is great. Know where some nice ones are, and a bunch of satellites as well. Downfall is 2 days ago, I left my scope sitting out here, up high, instead of dropping it low to make sure it didn't tip over. Wind was gusty, tipped it over, bent the thing so it was crooked. Seemed to work fine. But then today, the zooming mechanism became destroyed. I tried to fix it with some wrenches and it just broke worse. So now I have no spotting scope. Time to buy a new one. All right, we've glassed up a bunch of elk this morning, including the biggest bull I've ever seen out here. Got a good idea of where he ended up. Got to our access point. Seems to be the only people here right now, which is amazing. So we're gonna hike on in there and get on this big old bull. He was with a big group, but luckily they split up, so we're not gonna have quite as many eyes to sneak by. It should be exciting. I'm feeling confident. Let's go. So Steve and I end up hiking in there, getting right on top of where we know the elk are bedded. We try to set up at first, but as I get close to where I know they are, the wind's blowing right at them. So I turn around and sprint back towards them and say, hey, we got to book it out of here. We went back uphill a little bit, chilled, had some snacks, decided to try to hike down below them, see if the wind would be better that way. But as we're doing that, it's just so crunchy, so loud, we feel like there's zero chance we're going to get close enough to them without being detected. So we back out yet again and get kind of close to where we were the first time, decide to wait it out. But no more than a minute goes by and we start hearing cows mewing like crazy. And now it's getting a little darker, the wind's better, so we set back up essentially the same way we did the first time. And so Steve's bugling, the bull is bugling like crazy. It is nuts. But where I think he's gonna come out of the thick stuff is still pretty far off. So I wave at Steve, get him over to where I am, and I move forward another probably 40 yards, and the bugling continues. It was like 15 minutes of just Steve and this bull going back and forth like they wanted to kill each other. It was insane. Eventually a cow comes out with the bull right behind them. They go behind this thick patch, and I think they're gonna pop out at 60. I don't know where the cow went, but the bull ended up circling back around and coming in to 40 yards, and he's just facing me dead on. And I have really good back cover this time, not just below my shoulders like the time I blew it earlier in the week. So I'm able to range the bull, set my sight to 40, draw back, and shoot him. It sounds great. I hear about 5 seconds of him running off, sounding like a bulldozer through the woods, 1 second pause, and then a second of crashing. And I'm like, holy crap, I think I just heard him die. And then I went back and got Steve, and here's what happened. Clip ended right before I shot, so this section is AI generated. Oh, my battery's dead, so that's cool.
On a GoPro, use a special battery.
Beautiful sunrise. It's about 6:30 in the morning. We're headed back in. Last night, Steve called a bull in for me. I shot him at 40 yards. He was quartering to me, which is kind of a regrettable shot choice, but sounded good. He ran off. Think I heard him crash. Couldn't find any blood last night, but it's kind of thick and nasty, so it's hard to look. Hopefully we go in there and find him. Found him.
Dude, we found him.
How do you feel?
I feel like a fucking elk hunter. That's
You've
what
gone one for one on calling an elk.
Not only a elk, a 6x6.
This was Steve's first actual vocal back and forth with an elk. And there he is.
Wild. Cows are going crazy. He was going crazy. I had no stick, but
I think I only want to hunt with Steve from now on. Last year, his first year hunting with me, he killed his first ever archery kill and elk. This year, second day actually hunting, not glassing, he calls in a bull for me. I think Steve's the way to go. Well, as of this very moment, this Colorado hunt has been every bit as good as the Wyoming hunt last year, which was like a very hard to draw unit, and here we are in an over-the-counter unit.
Can I take one with my bugle tube, dude?
Yeah, we're gonna take some pictures of you with your bugle tube. Here he is. We found him. Dude, he's bigger than I thought too. Check it out, man. He's a 6x6.
Congratulations, buddy.
Look how wide he is. Dude, he's a 6x6.
So did you... I was literally on the other side of this. I thought he came through here. So what'd you do? You find the blood or what?
No, I literally just started going through and I'm just gonna grid search for blood in an animal.
And then I came back and I was gonna come find you and say, hey, come help me grid search. And then I just look up and saw him.
So like yesterday I thought I saw him kind of run up. You think he came? Oh,
I think he did pretty much what I thought. Went up and then a little bit down and crashed. This is what I heard him crash into. Oh my God, dude. He's big. It's 18th, right? Or no? 19. Should I film it for yesterday or today? Shot him yesterday. I guess I'm doing yesterday because I shot him yesterday. Notching tags.
There we go. No tag soup for this motherfucker.
And now, for the first time ever on an elk, I have to notch male.
How's it feel, buddy?
Amazing. All right, tag notched. Here we go.
Congratulations, buddy.
Time to cut him up pieces and carry him the fuck out of here.
Shoo. How's it feel, buddy? Hell yeah.
Here we go.
Congratulations, buddy. Congrats. Beautiful.
Oh my God.
A beast. Well, we're getting what we deserve. Hard for dinner.
He's not even a young one.
Nope,
He's
nope.
at least like a medium. Wow.
I'll take them. I'll take them. Oh yeah. They call them like press wings.
I probably won't fly on YouTube. Quarters hanging in a tree. A couple more to go. Rough country. And all the dead stuff from the burn years ago is starting to fall down and make it worse. Oh boy.
As seen on TV, you know. Fuck yeah, ass is all bloody. Hey buddy, congrats. Congrats.
Squeeze him through. Oh fuck. He's wide. Well, we got the first load out. Drove back to where we got Steve's truck parked. We're gonna go ahead and grab another cooler, head into town, maybe go take a shower. But boy, man, hiking up that hill was difficult, but I was smiling mostly the whole time. Felt great. I've been feeling so excited this happened. Lucky as hell. And then suddenly at one point it sunk in that like 10 years of desire, 10 years of a goal has now been fulfilled. What an incredible feeling that is. Wow. Well, we've named my bull Brutus. There's his head laying right over there. And there's about half his heart frying in some bacon grease for us to enjoy here in a minute. Sweet taste of victory. All right, we're almost to the meet. It's up there in those trees. Came in from the bottom instead of coming in from the top to make it a downhill pike out. We got my neighbor Dave with us.
How's that van working out?
We saw where a cow, a calf, and a bull have gone to bed, we believe. So we're gonna sneak in there above them and see if we can make something happen. Here's the obligatory foot maintenance clip for the, do a little preparation for elk pack out number 2, hopefully. About as far down as we could go. We're hanging out back at our glassing spot, waiting out the weather. Starting to clear up. We're gonna cook up some elk meat. Do some tops. Cooking elk is an essential part of any elk hunt. All right, well, we spent the morning glassing until the fog rolled in and covered up everything. We saw one group of elk go up over a ridge out of sight, and then another kind of working downhill until the fog rolled in an area we kind of know. So we know they're still around. We kind of have an odd north wind today, so we're trying to consider all the variables and make a plan of attack. In the meantime, we're of course going to cook up some more elk, fuel the adventure, and you know, ideally we'd get a second one of these and have a little skull boiling party to end our trip, but we'll see what happens. So our first course, elk burger. Second course, mule deer steak. Because that's what you do when you're a successful bow hunter. Well, we know where some elk are bedded. We're trying to get to our access point. The road is very slippery. I haven't been able to get up this little tiny ridge to go around the mud bog. Let's see if we can. Recovery boards gave us the traction to continue. Hopefully that means we'll go shoot an elk. We have arrived at the access point through the slippery mud. Thanks to the traction boards. Yeah.
We just got real close and they didn't like my calls and they exited, or I don't know, maybe they saw me move, but now they've ran way the heck up there and are exiting that way. So I think we blew it on those elk. Maybe we could drive up above them. Try to get on them tonight. It's possible. We'll see. Well, we got right above where we thought the elk were bedded. I started cow calling. Steve heard the bull, or a bull that we didn't know was there for sure, but assumed was. He bugled. I didn't hear it, but I kept calling for like 10 minutes. And then 250 yards away, I could see 9 elk, including a nice bull, climbing up the next ridge over. And then a few minutes later, we saw him climbing way up high that ridge. So here we are at the Hill of Champions. We're gonna climb back up it, see if we can't drive a little higher and get above those elk.
All right, another foggy morning. Original plan was to hunt this morning and then quit after that if we didn't get anything. But we decided to just sleep in. I don't even think a rangefinder could range an animal right now. It'd be very difficult to shoot. So we're up early. I'm gonna cook some breakfast and then hit the road. Take old Brutus over here on home with me. Back up, getting into highway mode. All right, I'm tired as fuck. All right, give me a little summary. How did you like your first Colorado elk hunt?
Dude, it was amazing. It was amazing. I think it has to be the best trip so far. You know why? Because we were within elk, like within maybe 250 yards of elk almost every day.
Yeah,
Almost
it's pretty
every
nuts.
day. Oh.
Great action, heck yeah.
Not only that, bear. We came close to the bear. Not too close, but rifle range.
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
heck yeah, I'm glad you made it out, dude. It's been amazing.
Next time we'll get another bull. We'll get Carl.
Carl's still out there, but
Carl's
next
still
year,
out there. He
next
lived,
year
he
Carl's
lived.
getting it. Heck yeah.